Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Dirty Water Dispatch. Today we have a very special guest, Dan Tiant, because I can't call him what I normally call him because he told me not to. And so for those of you who don't know, Dan oversees baseball operations and is an MLBPA-certified agent, recruiter, advisor, and previously director of operations for Headline Sports Group. His grandpa and his dad both played at the professional level. Of course, Louis Tiant, famously Red Sox, Yankees, and Indians. Dan has over 30 years of baseball experience and was a collegiate player. He almost came, by the way, to the state that I live in and to play ball. And travel coach, assistant strength coach at Northeastern University. And during his time has built extensive relationships with major league teams, general managers, and scouts. Represents Latin America, Korea, Taiwan, and Japan, and takes a very hands-on approach. Welcome to the podcast. Long time coming.
I know, it's been a while. And it's Northeastern University, the Huskies, not Northwest.
Yes. So what did I say?
Northwestern.
Oh, sorry. Gosh, and I was even reading my
Midwest girl from the Midwest. That's all good.
I know. Yes, no, he almost came to K-State, right? That's what you told me once?
K-State was one of the schools I was looking at, yes.
I mean, could have been rocking that purple.
Could have.
Could have.
You need to go somewhere warm.
It's definitely not here.
No, it's not.
Well, welcome to the show. We'll dive right in. As I just said, your family has a long history with baseball. Do you remember the first time that you stepped on a field, or is it more that you remember through like photographs?
The first time I remember through photographs.
Yeah.
It was, I think there's a picture of my dad holding me, and it was
with the curls.
Yeah, it was a family day that they would have. So all the family would be on the field. And there's a few pictures of me with that big afro I had. So those were probably the first times I was on the field. You know.
How old were you then? Like 3?
No, younger than that.
Really?
Yeah, I was a big baby. I was a big baby. I think my mom said I was still like months old. So believe it or not, I was. Yeah.
I only remember this part of you, so it's not. I just remember seeing that photo, and I always comment how cute it is because just the curls were adorable.
The curls were cute. Yeah.
The curls were. Yes, she did a good job.
Don't make them.
No, I said through photographs because I remember watching this interview with John Kennedy Jr. once, and everybody, his whole life was documented, right. And obviously you had a little piece of that since you grew up kind of in the spotlight with your dad. And he said he doesn't remember a lot of the things that people will show him as a kid. He just remembers people talking about it through the photographs. So that's why I figured that might be the case since you were so young.
Pretty much the same thing with me.
Yeah.
Those memories were there's things that everybody's always talked to me about, constantly remind me of it. So wow.
So I mean that was the first one. So it's MLB. I mean, obviously you're going on an MLB field first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
When did you start playing baseball though?
I started playing
the family sport, as it were.
Right. I started playing when we lived in Mexico City. I played in the league called the Liga Olmeca, and that's a place where my brother played, my sister played, I played, even my mom played there with an adult softball team. And that was probably 3rd grade, 4th grade. Then I started to play baseball, organized, and yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah. What position did you play?
I played third base and shortstop.
How are you now? Would you like to join the team as a third baseman?
They are hurting right now. No, I need to get back into some sort of playing shape.
Speaking of playing shape, I'm going to throw this at you. This wasn't in your the questions that I sent earlier. We were both down at Fantasy Camp at the same time.
Right.
This year, Red Sox Fantasy Camp. And we both joked about playing next year.
Right.
I think you really should do it because I really think I'm going to do it. So
well, Manny Del Carmen wants me to play.
I think Manny wanted both of us to play, if I remember correctly.
So I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
I think you should just do it.
Yeah, we'll try.
Just suck it up. It's going to be fine.
I know in my head I'm going to try to go all out, and that's going to be the problem.
It's not going to be a problem.
It is.
You got a whole year straight up.
I'm end up pulling something, running to first, just trying to beat it out or something. Who knows?
I mean, I feel like that's happened.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I watch people have runners for that exact reason, actually.
Exactly.
What could possibly go wrong?
We're not 20 anymore. I'm not 20.
I feel like we're really close to the same age. So yeah, I mean, just what it is. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. You'll do it. It's fine. Your dad played for 6 teams.
Correct.
Notably, as it was in the bio, the Indians, the Yanks, and our beloved Red Sox.
Right.
Did you have a favorite? I mean, I know he played for 6, but did you have a favorite during that time, or was it always the one he was playing for?
I actually enjoyed my time when he was with the Red Sox. Obviously, we lived in Milton, Massachusetts. As an experience, I liked this time with the Yankees. The organization was really good to him, really good to the family.
Yeah.
And it always left a nice, memorable, experience for us. And those are the 2 teams I really enjoyed. I mean, I also liked when he was with the Angels, because at that time, Doug DeCinces and Bob Boone we were all the same.
So I think I remember you telling me this at camp, that he did a lot of, I mean, I know he did a lot of work with the Red Sox, because
correct,
maybe the most beloved player that I've ever seen anyone fought over was your dad. In fact, I tried to buy Boz's shirt off of him at karaoke night, because it's the one of your dad with the cigar.
Oh, really?
I was like, what do you want for that shirt? He's like, it's absolutely not for sale. Like, pry it off my cold dead body. But he also, from what I thought, I could have been misremembering this, but he did a lot of work with the Yankees organization later as well, correct?
He did for a little while. He actually had a contract after he retired. They signed him to a contract as a scout, and it was, I think it was like a 20-year deal or something like that they gave him. But he wanted to go back to playing baseball. That's why after the Yankees, he ended up playing with Pittsburgh and then the Angels, because he didn't want to. He wasn't ready to retire yet. But they had him set up. They had him set up for his career after baseball.
That's so sweet, though.
Yeah.
So now, I mean, you played ball through college, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
I did.
And then you go do the stuff at Northeastern University.
Yep.
What made you want to get into the agency management side of things?
Well, originally I wanted to get into the coaching side. I did some coaching as far as travel ball, and I started, doing some baseball camps, and then I wanted to kind of go back into the level of high school, collegiate, eventually pro. But I just didn't see a path in that at the time. Did a lot of different jobs for a while. I ran a cigar company as well. And it was in.
I feel like that's past tense. Is that past tense now?
It's still open. It's still open. But in some of my conversations with another friend of mine who was an attorney, he brought up the idea of getting into the sports representation side of business. And it was something that crossed my mind, and I ended up looking more into it. And I ended up just taking the exam, passing it. And it's been two and a half years now I've been a certified agent. But I've been doing a lot of recruiting prior to that to kind of get my feet and understanding the business.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. It's got some very long days, and it can be very cutthroat, but it's something I enjoy because I'm still in the game of baseball, which is important to me.
Yes. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up the latest member of your family, though, to be joining the softball, baseball world, I think you should just brag on her for a minute because she's amazing.
Yes.
Please tell us about your daughter if you want.
No.
All right.
Yeah, no. So Gia, she's a late bloomer. Gia started playing softball her freshman year in high school. She didn't play prior to that, but she always had an interest. She's the type of kid that she gets bored easy. So she picked up a golf club, started hitting it straight. She's like, I don't want to play golf anymore. She started riding a bicycle without the extra wheels on it.
The training wheel.
She's got on a bike and started riding. The same thing with skateboarding, you name it. Freshman year, she decided to try out for softball at St. Augustine High School, and she made the team. She actually was varsity from her freshman year on, and she is a starting center fielder. She's really athletic, and through her high school years, she did that. She was an athletic trainer for a football team, a student athletic trainer. And he was also on the girls' competitive weightlifting team. She took 6th place in the state of Florida her senior year. So she's got some good talent behind her, some good genes. And now she's playing at South Georgia State, which is a 2-year school. She's playing softball there, and she's hoping to finish off in a 4-year school after that. But she's loving it. Loving it.
That's good. And she, for those of you who are looking at my shirt, she is wearing number 23, I think was the big news, right?
Yes. She's wearing 23, just obviously to honor her grandfather. Yes. She will be playing summer ball in Boston as well in Collegiate Summer League, and she's hoping to play. Well, she's playing for the Green Monsters, which is fitting enough, but she's hoping to get 23 up there as well.
I mean, they just have to do it. I mean, she's already been featured in the Globe, for goodness sakes. Just give her the number. Come on. Right. So with you having played, obviously growing up in the baseball world, around baseball players, what do you look for when you're going out to find your prospects?
I look at the overall picture, obviously. I don't need to. I'm more the old school kind of guy. So I know today's game, we have everything with, exit velocity and spin rate and all that.
Absolutely need to stop with that, but okay.
I have to pay attention to it, but I really want to know what you have in between your ears. Basically, I want to know you have a brain and you can play the game of baseball. As my dad would say, testicular fortitude is another thing. You need somebody that really is hungry and just wants to play. And that's what I look for. I look for the mental side first. Look, and the talent is there. I mean, all these kids have talent. All these kids that are in the minors have talent, just some better than others. And I think the main reason or the main factor of moving up is, I don't say it's a talent. It's what you have in your head, your brain. If you're smart enough to play the game and you can really control the pace of it, and I think you have a really good shot of making it. So I think it's more of the mentality part that I look for.
I think so as well. I mean, obviously I'm not in that side of it, but just watching some of the younger kids that we have going through now, and I'll say kids because they are, I'm sorry, they're in their early 20s. It's ridiculous. Playing pro ball, and they just, sometimes you have those hot shots that know they're hot shots and they don't want to necessarily make the team better. They're just more about making themselves better, and everybody else is an afterthought. And I know we've talked about that a little bit through text, but I do think that having the mental awareness of being part of a team is a big part of continuing having a pretty decent career, because no one wants to put up with some of the attitudes.
Right. I mean, it is. I think it's very important for the team chemistry. I learned so much from my dad in this game and from a lot of his teammates, just listening to them. And I think that's a big part that we're missing in today's game. There's no more lineage. There's no more, listening to the veterans. I remember Jim Rice telling me, Yaz learned and listened to Ted Williams. He goes, I learned and I listened from Yaz. it started to slow down after that. You know, Rice still had, I think it was Greenwell who was out there. But after that, it just flatlined. These guys today, they don't talk to the veterans as much. They don't really want to listen to them. Everything right now is more focused on the analytics side of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's taken to me, I think for me personally, I think it's taken part of the excitement out of the baseball game. And it's become very robotic, is what I use for a term. It's very robotic. And there's no more of that exciting part of the game as to what do you do on a 3-2 count? What do you do to move a runner? Double steals, anything like that. It's just it's faded away. And it's disappointing, I think.
It has. And what's interesting, and I'm sure a lot of the other teams are like this, but especially with the Red Sox that I've noticed, you know, being around for the last several years, going to games and stuff, is there are so many veteran players around that the players could reach out to for advice or tips or just to shoot the shit. I mean, honestly, I mean, there's a couple coaches that are right there with Tech and Cora. So I don't know. And Jim Rice, obviously, in the booth. There's Middlebrooks in the booth, Lenny in the booth. There's so many people. So there's not a shortage of knowledge.
No, there isn't. There's definitely no shortage of knowledge.
No.
I wish more organizations would take advantage of these guys.
Yes.
It's kind of like they throw them away to the side and see you later. I mean, that's who you learn from. You know, I look at the front offices and listen, I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, and I don't really talk bad about anybody, but
just sipping my drink.
So. But these are the most important learning tools you have. These are the people that have been there. They've done that. They know how to get there. I think that's the person you should listen to the most.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that there's coaches that aren't good that never played. You have the talent to coach and run a team, fantastic. But I think it's also very important to listen to the people that have been there. They can give you the tools to how to prepare and advance more. And I think we're missing that in this game.
I think so. I mean, I think so as well. And I think a unique aspect, this is my opinion, that you have at doing this is that you did grow up around the game. Mm-hmm. And so that has to influence some of what you look for with these young kids, just because you did grow up around it. So it's not just, I mean, like you were saying, just not the analytics side.
Right.
You see the side that more than the velocity of the ball, which I will agree to the end of time with Jim Rice on this. For the love of God, just get on first base. You don't have to try to hit the dinger. It's fine.
There's two things with that. Get on first base, get on base. And on a pitcher standpoint, I don't care if you throw 105. If you can't find the strike zone, you're useless to me.
Exactly.
And those are the things I do talk to my guys about that. I'm very upfront with my players that I represent. I explain to them that there is benefits to the game with the metrics side of it, but you also have to look at as they call the old style of baseball, because that's really what's lasted for hundreds of years. Is that part? Those are the basic fundamentals. So we need that. So I feel that there's a balance, and there needs to be a balance. There can't be a far left and a far right in baseball as far as what makes a player great. Bottom line, they all have to know the fundamentals. They all have to know how to play the game of baseball. So you can't just knock on the old school methods, and that's what you're trying to see, which to me makes zero sense.
It absolutely makes zero sense. I remember going to camp last year and just missed each other. It was very sad. But Rafi had just gotten down there, and he was, funny enough, the one not overly concerned with like the velocity at which he was hitting, and he was just trying to hit the ball in certain places, which was great. And then that kind of imploded upon itself as the spring training went on. But I was like, oh, that's fantastic. And, I was like all excited because he had lost some weight and he was really into it. And he was down there doing what he needed to do. But with the people that you have represented, were there any like standout moments that you can share that you were super excited about with your players, or just any part of that?
One of the more exciting parts was a couple of years ago. We had a pitcher named JB who made the MLB roster for the Marlins. So going to his debut game was actually a lot of fun. It was exciting. I actually had to pick up his wife in Jacksonville because he was in the AAA team at the time, this Jumbo Shrimp, and we drove down to Miami and watched him pitch. So that was a good time. It was very memorable on that side. I think we have another one right now in the making with one of our pitchers that's a possible first-round pick, and just watching him grow and develop to what he is now is phenomenal. So I'm excited about that.
You probably have several that are just fun to watch develop, but that's really cool. I mean, that's a really cool experience, obviously once in a lifetime for that family to be a part of that kind of a thing. I can't even imagine, actually.
It's
I was
fun.
just excited to go to opening day.
It is fun because I treat my guys like they're my own kids. You know, I mean, I'm 51, so I'm up there, and you know, I'm dealing with kids that are anywhere between the ages of 18 to, I mean, even a 30-year-old to me is still a kid in a way, and just trying to teach them how to approach the game and watching them move up in levels, you know, from A ball to AAA to big leagues. It's an accomplishment for them, but for me, it's a great joy. So, and that's the part of the game where I think I differ from a lot of agents. I take it very personal. To me, it's family, and I treat them like they're my family. So watching them grow, you have to be proud of it. So yeah, I love it.
I love that.
Yeah.
I know we have talked about the big three prospects for the Sox a little bit. Do you have, or have you seen anyone in the prospect world, in the Red Sox organization, that kind of stands out as maybe a sleeper that we're not all glued and attached to, like the big three, Marcelo and Christian and Roman, obviously?
Not really, because I really pay attention to my guys.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. I was just curious.
I really focus on my players, but I haven't seen much of their roster as far as the future prospects they have. I will say I'm excited with the big three that they have right now.
Yeah,
they can do really well. I'm especially impressed with Roman Anthony. I think if Roman can stay healthy and focus on hitting and doing well on that field, I think he's probably the best one they have.
I mean, he really is. He was the #1 prospect. He was, oddly enough, the last of the big three to be brought up. But he really he just stands out in everything that he seems to be doing. And
he's a good
really
kid.
Excited to see where that goes.
He's a really good kid, and he's very respectful. And I think you and I have talked about that.
We have talked about that.
Just how respectful he is, and he really impressed me during spring training when we met. And I do. I think when you have that side to you, as well as being a great ball player, it's a package deal. And I think he can be really great in the city of Boston. So I'm looking forward to seeing his career.
I am too, and I hope they keep him there, especially with how long we had to wait to get him on on the major league team. It was great to watch him in Worcester. That was fantastic. No complaints about that at all. But it was so nice when they finally brought him up to be a part of their Sox. And you just, I will say it, you won't, because you're too nice. But the front office scares the living shit out of me half the time. Like, if you get rid of him, I think the city will burn down. My niece in particular, it's Roman and Jaron Duran that she's enamored with. So
another great ball player. I love his story. I love what he's done with his life.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I get frustrated when I see his name be thrown out there in trade talks.
Oh, yes. You should. I can't even repeat half the stuff I get sent from her. Like, okay, calm down. He's fine.
I'd love to see him stay there. I don't think either of them need to be moved at all.
I don't think so either. And with all of the moves that they didn't make in the offseason, I think keeping the status quo in the outfield is probably a good decision. And somebody had put out there that he was like the number one left fielder in all of MLB. So there's no need to. He's fine. He's fine right where he's at. I mean, it's just my opinion, mostly because I have a very young 18-year-old niece who's just in love with him. So, and I just converted her to a Red Sox fan, guys.
There you
So
go. That's the worst thing that can happen.
we can't lose it now. In fact,
Right,
she sent me something about him being traded, and I was like, I don't think that's true because I have passing on Twitter alerts. So I was like looking it up, going, it's fake news. Don't worry, it's fake. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I'm sorry, I'm reading this question. I wrote really sloppily, so I'm trying to. Oh, I asked you that already. Okay, so we're going to do the last part of this, which is side B, which I kind of explained to you. So with my typical podcast partner, Bill, we came up with this fun thing because we're both older and we both remember the side B of an album or a cassette. And you find they don't have that now, obviously. Right, because it's either digital or if you found a CD, obviously not flipping it over. And so we talked about like the gems that you could absolutely find on side B. And me being a huge U2 fan, I feel like any of the side B off of Octung Baby, just huge. I mean, Paint It Black is a cover. Come on, it's life-changing. Anyway, so we kind of talked about different moments in the 70s, 80s, or even 90s, because some of us aren't as old as others, that kind of stands out to you as a fun memory. And it doesn't obviously have to involve your dad. I know you have very, very many favorite players because you had from what I understand, the fortuitous opportunity to be in and around the locker room with a whole bunch of cool guys, whole bunch of cool players.
I did.
So is there like a moment on the field, off the field that kind of stands out to you as like that fun memory that you can look back on and say, oh my God, that was such a fun time? Or even the 2000s, because I've thrown out 2004 more than I can even possibly say at this point.
There's so many. It's crazy.
Well, you can pick a couple. I mean, I don't care.
We were in Oakland, for, at that time, my dad was it was the old timers. So he was already retired. So they would do old timer games at every stadium.
Yes.
And I believe it was you know what? It was the All-Star game out there, if I'm not mistaken. But I got to meet Roger Clemens. He was one of my favorite players growing up and was always a huge fan of Clemens. The best moment of that was actually being able to sit and talk to him for about an hour just about baseball. Like he sat there with us and asked me questions about, my playing career, which I was at that time, I think, was middle school. And, what was
very
my
experienced middle school player.
Yeah. And he goes, what's my goals? What was I hoping to accomplish? And we just talked and he gave me a lot of lessons on how to prepare and hopefully make it. So it was a great conversation that I had with him. That really, it's a talk that I'm fortunate enough I was able to have with my dad, being that he played for so many years, and he would kind of give me so many tips and advice. But hearing it from another player who, he should be in the Hall of Fame too, was quite a great experience. That was one of them for sure. Obviously, the All-Star game in Boston was another amazing time in my life. I think just
1999.
Being there with all those greats and spending time with my dad. And
that's unforgettable. That's an unforgettable right there.
So, I mean, those are probably two that stand out the most for me. Yeah.
And I know, I'm just going to harp on your dad for a minute. Not harp.
Go for it.
He would do, and I know a lot of them do this. I know Folky does it. I know like Pudge does it. I know a lot of them do it. He would go up to the Legends Suite, right? And hang out with fans that were lucky enough to be in that suite. And did you ever do that with him?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
Anytime I was in Boston and I was at Fenway with him, it was probably during a Legends Suite appearance. So I would just go up there with him, spend time with him and the fans. And they would sometimes include me in the Q&A section of it. I would get embarrassed and just sit in a corner, but people would just be curious about what it was like for me growing up, having him as a father. So I would get suckered into those Q&As once in a while.
I mean, having seen this live and in person, as we've said, I was down at camp with Danny this year, just hanging out, and you almost feel a little bit like, oh my gosh, just leave the poor guy alone, because there is not a single grown man that will not come up to him and fawn all over him because of how much they loved his dad and him, honestly, and you. But it's really sweet, because he might be honestly the most beloved person that I've ever seen in the Red Sox organization, quite honestly. And that is saying something, considering that what the 04 guys did for us after an 86-year stretch.
I think it was just him being just so down to earth.
Him?
And it was him.
Yeah.
He was just down to earth. I had so many people within the Red Sox organization that are, vendors, people that ticket sellers, and they would come up to me all the time, and they would just speak so highly of him, because he would just ask them, how are you doing? How's your day? How's your family? And they would always say the same thing. I'm just a nobody. But my dad treated everybody the same. Didn't matter who you were. And I do the same. I will say I learned so much from him on how to be as a person, how to be as a man, and how to act around others. And he did. He always reminded me to be humble, be caring, thoughtful, ask people about their days, and don't just think that because you're Louis Tiant's son that you're special. And I've always been that. And I do. I think a lot of people always say I remind them a lot of Dad, because I do follow what he says. Always have.
That's what people say about me and my mom as well. I always say that. I wish I was like her, and then one of my girlfriends will text back or say to me, "You are her," so. Which is very humbling and just the sweetest thing anybody can say. What you were talking about, Roger Clemens, and you got to sit down and talk to him like that for an hour. I had not that kind of similar experience, but I did get to talk to Embry, poor guy, last year. And I hadn't got to meet him, and Oil Can was generous enough to introduce me to him as we were sitting down in Shoeless Joe's. Yep. And he's like, so I hear you wanted to meet me. And I was like, well, of course I did. And he's like, why is that? And I said, oh, okay, well, let's start here. I've been a Sox fan since I was 3. And he goes, oh, so just a little bit. I was like, yeah, just a few years. And I said, but I was at Game 7 in New York, watched the whole thing happen. And thank you so much for making like every single dream of my entire existence come true in that 1 second. Yeah. And he goes, oh, you're welcome. And I was like, I was a little disappointed that, other people weren't pitching because I had on their jersey. But I said it really did. So we talked about baseball for a while. And it's funny now, because when I saw him this year, he didn't remember me entirely. He just came up at karaoke night, and he says, you look really familiar. And I was like, yeah, probably so. And so then I told him how. And he goes, oh, yep. That's it. And so now I joke that he's my protector in chief when I'm down there. But it's funny how just you guys being all so down to earth is just exactly what you would actually want as a fan. Because no one wants the all this, and you're welcome for making your whole life.
I'll be honest. I think most guys are. A lot of guys are.
I think the guys there are, for sure.
Yeah. I just think, you're in a public eye, and I think you have to be.
Sometimes that doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
But no, what I'm saying by that is that I think there's a break that's needed, and they forget that too. Mm-hmm. I think I've only dealt with 3 guys that were completely nasty.
I won't
And
make
one
you.
of them, and one of them actually changed a lot after he got much older, so that was great. But it's just in the moment. I guess sometimes these guys lose themselves too, and they get tired, and I get it. But you also have to be conscious of the fact that you are in a position that you're in the public eye, and you have fans, and with fans, you got to be a little bit different. And I think sometimes they do forget that. As far as Embry's one hell of a guy. He's one of my favorite people.
Yes, he's supposed to do this. I talked to him. I guilted him into joining me on this podcast.
And that you're in the public eye, and you have fans, and with fans, you got to be a little bit different. And I think sometimes they do forget that. As far as Embry's one hell of a guy. He's one of my favorite people.
Yes, he's supposed to do this. I talked to him. I guilted him into joining me on this podcast. So everybody look forward to that soon. Now that I've said it, he has to.
There you go.
No, everybody's literally the best. We were sitting up at Joe's. He was at a different table, and I just get this nod like, "You're okay. Don't worry about it." And I'm like, "Excellent news," which was funny because I was literally sitting by myself. It was hilarious. So as we're going to finish up, we have a very important football game coming up this Sunday.
Okay.
Right?
We do? I had no idea.
You didn't?
No.
I remember us both cheering for a game. So who you got? I mean, I can guess who you're going to pick.
I'm a homer.
I know, me too. There's no chance.
I'm a homer. I mean, I am. I'm living in Florida. I live in St. Augustine. I'm a Jaguars fan. They're here. I like watching them play. But when it comes to every sport, I'm a Bruins fan. I'm a Celtics fan. I'm a Red Sox fan first.
Yep.
I'm a Patriots fan. So I'm rooting for the Patriots. I think they have a good shot. I don't think they're getting.
I think they do. I mean, Braves just alone is worth cheering them on for. We're doing my real job working. We're doing a project up in Swansea, and I've been tasked with calling a lot of the people to try and get some bids for it. And my guys will hear me on the phone, and I'm just like going on about it, and they'll talk. Oh, I don't know if I can do that because a couple weeks ago we've got some games coming up, and I was like, Drake, May. I mean, like, let's go. You got to do the thing. And they asked me about Big Miss, and I'm like, of course you got to watch Big Miss and all this. And my guys literally come around the corner and look at me like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I'm sorry that you're not in on this, because this is the most fun you're ever going to have in life is being a Patriots fan again. This is the best. So they all give me a hard time because they're all Chiefs fans. And I'm so excited that like we're back. But yeah, same with me. Pats beat Sox, and it's nice to have one at least back in the game. I will say, and I've said this before, that the Celtics, God love them, do like to win championships on my birthday. So anytime that can come around again,
that'd be great.
Let's keep that tradition going, because that's really nice for me. Anyway, so go Pats, and thank you so much for joining me. It was great.
Thank you for this time. It was actually a lot of fun, and I know we talked about setting it up a long time ago. So I'm glad
it's only been a year, guys. Only been a year in the making.
Has it been that long?
Mm-hmm. Well, close to, right? Close to opening day, I feel like. So.
Yeah. So.
All right. Wish the Sox a good season, and thanks again. That was good.
Thank you. And I'm sure I'll see you on the road somewhere at a Red Sox game or even at Fenway.
Definitely. All right. Thanks.
Thanks, Lesley.